Hey guys, this is Sam, and today I want to talk about 4 big features and changes that are coming to iOS 11 in the near future. We don't have exact release dates on any of these, but all of these have been confirmed by Apple. They're just not in iOS 11 yet. And the first thing is arguably something that we've been waiting on for a very long time. New emojis. Back in July for World Emoji Day, Apple shared 12-ish emojis that are coming to our devices, they say before the end of the year. So no matter what, we are getting these new emojis before the end of 2017. We just don't know exactly if it's going to be in iOS 11.1 or in something like iOS 11.1.1 or maybe iOS 11.2. Apple has not confirmed the exact date, but it's exciting to know that these will come before the start of 2018. And as always, there are so many good ones on the way. Apple has previewed 15 out of the multitude of emojis that are coming. I made this mock-up just to see how they would look on iOS 11. You've got the mind blown emoji. This emoji just looks like it's kind of insane. Star face, throw up. All of these have so much detail in them as well. Of course, the number one I'm most excited for is breastfeeding emoji. You've got person meditating, someone wearing a headscarf, bearded man, because that's pretty cool. You've got an elf, which you can change the skin tone color on, a zombie, dinosaur, and zebra. But you've also got a couple of others that Apple previewed inside of this GIF that they made. You have a genie. It looks like a broken open coconut. And you also have a sandwich emoji. I could have sworn on everything that there was already a sandwich emoji in iOS, but I checked and there isn't one there. Emojis are one of my favorite parts about iOS. I love the way they look. I think Apple did a great job at designing all of these, and I cannot wait to get my hands on them, hopefully sooner rather than later. Alright, next up is PeerToPeer Apple Pay. Apple originally announced this all the way back at WWDC 2017 in June of this year, and they still have not added it into iOS 11. It was not present in Beta 1. It was not present in any of the betas. A lot of us thought it would be present in the Golden Master just because this was a payment-related feature. Maybe Apple was waiting to add it until the final release candidate, but they didn't even add it there, and all of a sudden the verbiage of iOS 11's Apple Pay cash feature coming immediately changed to, well, it's coming later this fall. But Apple has an entire Apple Pay site showing so many screenshots of the feature, showing how it works. They have a video dedicated to showing other people how to use it. It's like the feature is totally ready to ship, but they're just waiting on adding it in a future update for some reason. There's even a screen recording of the feature on Apple's Apple Pay website, so I took that screen recording and ran it on my device here just to see how it would look on an iPhone in the real world, and it seems like it's going to be really amazing and really cool, and PayPal and Venmo are going to get a run for their money, along with Square Cash and any other peer-to-peer payment sender. You tap on the iMessage app icon, tap on the Apple Pay tab that will be added in whatever update Apple Pay Cash comes in, presumably a later iOS 11.1 beta, but we don't really know for sure, and then you just request or pay money, and it goes to the other person just like that. When you receive money, it's going to go on your Apple Pay Cash card. That screen looks like this. Also, has not been added just yet, but when the iOS 11 Apple Pay Cash update comes, you're going to get this Apple Pay Cash card in your wallet that will go along with your other credit, debit, or loyalty reward cards. It looks like once you receive money on your Apple Pay Cash card, you can either pay with Apple Pay to use it instantly if you're buying something on the web or in stores with Apple Pay, or you can also transfer your Apple Pay Cash balance to your bank account, but I assume that'd probably take a day or so and it wouldn't be instant. The more I keep looking at the Apple Pay site, the more I keep wondering why the feature isn't out for everyone yet, because they even show it running on an Apple Watch. This site is super well made, super well done. It's like everything is ready to go, but there must be something or someone at Apple that is delaying things or pushing things off until some point in the future. It says that this is also coming sometime this fall before the end of 2017, so hopefully we see this in iOS 11.1 as well. Now, contrary to peer-to-peer Apple Pay, there was a feature called Messages in the Cloud that was introduced in iOS 11 Beta 1 that Apple talked about on the stage, and they later removed in iOS 11 Beta 5, but it was really great. It was still kind of buggy because it wasn't beta, but the idea is that it would sync all of your text messages and your iMessages through iCloud. So whether you were on your iMac or your iPad or your iPhone or your Apple Watch, you would always have all of your latest messages everywhere. The way the syncing works now is that if you send an iMessage, it should sync across all of your devices, but it gets a little sketchy with text messages. You have to authenticate those being sent to all of your devices so you can send and receive from something like your computer or your iPad. It's just a really messy system, and syncing everything through iCloud would consistently ensure that all of your devices had all of your messages. This is yet another feature that I could totally see Apple sneaking into a future iOS 11.1 beta, but at the same time, this is one of those features that we have no release date on whatsoever. Apple could include this in an update tomorrow or an update before iOS 12 next year. Finally, a beloved feature from iOS 10 will be made making a comeback to iOS 11. It's the 3D touch multitasking gesture that was removed with iOS 11 Beta 1. But Craig Federighi, who's one of the executives at Apple, replied to a customer email saying that it would be coming in a future iOS 11.x update, which is really exciting for everybody that was a huge fan of the feature. It worked by 3D touching or hard pressing on the very left side of your screen, and from here you could swipe left and right from apps or do a long swipe to go to your most recent app. It was really handy, and I actually used it a lot. When this 3D touch gesture was first removed, a lot of people just assumed that it was by mistake or it was only a temporary change, but an Apple engineer confirmed through the feedback app that this was an intentional removal of the gesture, and people started losing their minds on Twitter, on Reddit. I didn't realize how many people really appreciated this feature. Like I said, I used it, but when it was gone, I didn't miss it a whole lot. So that being said, if you're someone who really misses this gesture, it is coming back in a future iOS 11.x update, but we don't know if that's going to be 11.1, 11.2, or 11.3. It seems like Apple might be trying to also embed this in iOS 11.1, but we do not know for sure. Anyway, guys, as always, I would love to hear your thoughts. Which of these 4 features are you most excited for? If you enjoyed watching this video, it does help me out if you drop a like, and of course, hit subscribe to see these features in action when they launch in the future. I've been Sam, I hope all of you are doing great, and I'll talk to you in the next video.